Welcome back. It was a crime which pushed everything else off the front pages. 3 men, all known criminals, found shot dead in the Essex countryside. It was a cold-blooded, professional killing. The victims had many enemies, but which one wanted them executed?
And welcome back to a new video on the Essex Boys case. As always, if you are enjoying the content, please do give the video a thumbs up. And if you're interested in the Essex Boys case, or simply true crime in general, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. The girlfriend of murdered drugs baron Tony Tucker said he would still be alive today if pal Pat Tate hadn't been released from jail. Tate, who had convictions for armed robbery and drugs offences, left prison 5 weeks before he, Tucker and another friend Craig Rolfe were found shot in a lane at Rettendon. And just 2 days before his death, he put a man in hospital in an argument over a pizza. Donna Garwood, 17, of Fairview Road, Basildon, who got to know Tony at Raquel's nightclub, said, "If Pat was still inside, this wouldn't have happened." Referring to the Echo newspaper, in which Pat's mother claimed her son had gone to the drugs meet only to protect his 2 pals, Donna said, quote, "She was trying to get her son out of trouble, but if anything went on between them, Pat was involved, because the 3 never did anything without each other." Donna is trying to pick up the pieces after the ruthless killings and visits 38-year-old Tony's grave nearly every day. She recalled the television news that 3 men had been shot in a Range Rover, quote, "I just knew it was him. It was Tony's car. And when I tried to ring him on his mobile, it was switched off. I had spoken to him that day and asked him when I was going to see him again. He told me he was going to the Global restaurant in Romford with Pat and Craig." She added, quote, "He didn't tell me what they would be doing before that. He was always secretive. Pat was more open with his girls." Tony had arranged for Donna to live in Tate's flat in Swanstead Vange while he moved into a £250,000 bungalow in Fobbing. Donna said, "I did wonder how he was getting his money, but he's not one of these people who would go out selling ease. He's got too much respect for that. I never went to his home or the one he owned before in Chelmsford, but that was just because he was such a private man." Tony had 2 teenage children from a previous marriage, and Donna said, quote, "His boy was very ill a while ago and he was really good. He spent a lot of time with him." She has kept in contact with Pat's ex-girlfriend Sarah and Craig's common-law wife Donna Jaggers. She said, quote, "Donna's really bad. After all, she has Craig's child. I'm going to see a counsellor now to get myself sorted out. It's hitting me more and more. I feel like a part of me has been taken away. In my eyes, Tony wasn't the drug baron or villain he has been made out to be. He used to say, 'They don't know me, so who are they to judge?'" Tony's mother suffered a second blow when relatives broke the news of his death. Husband Ronald, 63, died of a heart attack. The following newspaper article has the headline, "Facts which don't fit in with Supergrass's tale." There were seemingly big holes in the prosecution's case against Jack Womes and Michael Steele. Things happened on December 6, 1995 that simply could not be explained, nor did they fit in with the day of the murder story of Supergrass Darren Nichols. Nichols had claimed the killings took place between 6:45 and 7 p.m, but not a single gunshot was heard during that time, despite experts saying the noise would have been audible a mile away. However, at about midnight, an independent witness heard around 6 gunshots in the area of Rettendon. The defence had asked whether they were connected to the killing, or were simply a bizarre coincidence. A white escort van was also seen leaving the murder scene at Workhouse Lane at around 7:45 p.m, again by an independent witness. That was nearly an hour after Nichols said the murders were committed. Was it turning around? Had it been a couple driving to the well-known spot for lovers? Graham Parkins QC, defending Steele, said it was a strange coincidence that another vehicle was in the quiet country track that snowy night. Workhouse Lane is hardly Spaghetti Junction, he said. Not a single shred of forensic evidence could be produced against the 2 defendants, but the jury decided the evidence of Supergrass Nichols was enough. Other questions remained unanswered about evidence or lack of it at the murder scene. Jack Wombs is a big, heavily built man with size 12 feet. Supergrass Nichols had said he was wearing Wellington boots when he was dropped off at the lane, but not a single footprint was found which could match that of Wombs or even Steele for that matter. It had been snowing and the ground was firm, but defence lawyers said there should still have been some marks left. When the so-called getaway car, a VW Passat, was recovered, it was scoured for splatters of blood. It was claimed that if Wombs and Steele had gunned the three down at close range, they would have been splashed with blood. Yet none was found in the getaway vehicle. The following newspaper articles from the 21st of January 1998 with the headline, "Key Witness, I'm a Liar." There were 9 long weeks of prosecution evidence for the Old Bailey jury to mull over, but among the dozens of witnesses who took the stand, only one, Darren Charles John Nichols, offered a link between Wombs and Steele and the murders. He was a brave choice for a star witness. Now aged 32, he was already a known criminal, sentenced to 3 years in prison for conspiracy to distribute counterfeit currency on November 19th, 1992. He is also still to be sentenced on firearms and drugs offences. During 2 weeks in the witness box, he admitted he was a liar who had stitched up friends. He was also forced to admit that he wanted to see Wombs and Steele sent to jail. He met Steele in Hollesley Bay Prison in Suffolk in early 1993. The pair became friendly when they shared a cell. Nichols was released in May 1994 and they kept in contact. It was his claim that he was the unwitting getaway driver for the killings after he had been arrested for them himself, which led to Wombs and Steele being charged with triple murder. But there were many discrepancies in the interviews Nichols gave to police. Perhaps the evidence that could have discredited Nichols most was the allegation he had been involved with an Essex police officer dubbed corrupt by the prosecution. Nichols became involved with the policeman, known only as Detective Constable A in court, only weeks after the shootings, and according to the prosecution they plotted to board a North Sea ferry and steal £150,000 being taken abroad to buy drugs. They planned to make amphetamine, then use it to set up 2 men who had displeased Nichols, stole drugs and then dished them out like sweets. Arranged for Nichols to sell drugs to customers, then pass on their names to Officer A so he could arrest them and win promotion. If you would like to learn more about the Range Rover murders, then click on the video in front of you now. You will also see the Essex Boys playlist, which has all of the videos concerning this case in one convenient folder. Many thanks for joining me for this video. I look forward to seeing you all again for the next one. Take care. Cheers.